Hello friends, welcome to my new lecture video. In this video, I'll be talking about the video that is on demand. There are a lot of subscribers and well-wishers of mine watching my videos. They have requested me to upload some questions, important questions on cultural studies. And I have tried to compile a series of videos on cultural studies questions. This is my series 1, video 1 of cultural studies lecture objective questions that I'll be putting forth. This video of mine will be having very important questions, and I request you all that if you all have time, if time permits, please watch this video till the end and pay attention to the questions that I tend to put forward in this video. And if you like my video of this particular series, if you like it, please, it is my humble request that it would be very kind of you if you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. So here goes my first video in the series of objective videos on cultural studies. This particular video will be having 20 very important questions. The first question is, in whose works are the antecedents of cultural studies generally witnessed? Means which works in whose works have paved to the genre of cultural studies as a field of study in literature. So the answer is Raymond Williams. My second question is, when and where did the institutionalization of cultural studies take place? So the institutionalization of cultural studies took place in Britain, and to be more particular, it took place in Birmingham in the year 1964. My third question is, in which year was the Center for Contemporary Cultural Studies established? In short form, it is known as CCCS, Center for Contemporary Cultural Studies. You know, it is very, very significant from the perspective of cultural studies. This particular center has been considered to be the pioneer of cultural studies, which was set up in Birmingham. So the answer is 1964. Where was, my fourth question is, where was the Center for Cultural Studies, the Center for Contemporary Culture Studies established? Of course, it was established in the University of Birmingham, England, and the year, as I shared in my previous question, that is 1964. The fifth question, who was the first director of the Center for Contemporary Cultural Studies, CCCS? Who was the first director? The answer is, of course, who is considered to be the founder of cultural studies. He is considered to be one of the pioneers of cultural studies. So the answer is Richard Hogarth. My sixth question is, who termed F.R. Lewis's idea of the great tradition as the cultural capital? I repeat, who termed F.R. Lewis's idea of the great tradition as the cultural capital? The answer is Pierre Bourdieu. So the answer is Pierre Bourdieu. My next question is, name the journal which published from the University of Birmingham which widened the scope of cultural studies. The journal played a very important role in the widening of scope, in the spreading of cultural studies as a field of study. So the answer is, the journal is Working Papers in Cultural Studies. Number 8th question, which is very important question because we are all Indians, so we should know this question. Name the Indian American theorist who introduced the meta theory of disjuncture in his work Disjuncture and Difference in the Global Economy. I repeat, name the Indian American theorist who introduced the meta theory concept of the meta theory of disjuncture in his seminal work called The Disjuncture and Difference in the Global Cultural Economy. The answer is Arjun Appadurai. Next question is, who is the author of the famous essay Notes on Deconstructing the Popular, which was published in 1981 and is very, very significant from the field of cultural studies? So the answer is Stuart Hall. My 10th question, who are the co-editors, or you can term is, who were the co-editors of Politics and Letters, a quarterly survey of intellectual background? which was this particular what do you call general was started by Raymond Williams in 1947 along with two other co-editors. So the question is, who were the co-editors of this journal called Politics and Letters, a quarterly survey of intellectual background, which was, as I said, was started by Raymond Williams in 1947 along with two other co-editors. The answer is Clifford Collins and Wolf Mankowitz. Clifford Collins and Wolf Mankowitz. You can look into the subtitles which is appearing on your screen if you have any problem with your spellings. And please jot down these questions. These questions are very, very important. Question number 11 is, what is the memoir of Stuart Hall called? Stuart Hall, one of the pillars of cultural studies, had a memoir. What is this memoir called? So the memoir, the name of the memoir is Familiar Strangers, A Life Between Two Islands. So the name of the memoir of Stuart Hall is Familiar Stranger, A Life Between Two Islands, which was published posthumously in 2017. Now my 12th question is, who introduced the concept of subculture? Very important. Who introduced the concept of subculture? The answer is Dick Hebdige. Dick Hebdige in 1979. Next question, which some of us already know the term, but very important. This term is important from the perspective of cultural studies. The term is hegemony, which is a very, very important term from the perspective of cultural studies. The question is, who introduced this term? The answer is Antonio Gramsci. Antonio Gramsci. Now my next question is, who put forward the concept of chronotype? Who put forward the concept of chronotype in the 1920s, which played a significant role in the development of cultural studies later on? Who put forward this concept of chronotype in 1920s? The answer is Mikhail Bakhtin. The answer is Mikhail Bakhtin. My next question, who is the author of the famous work Uses of Literacy, Aspects of the Working Class Life, which was published in 1957. This work is very important from the perspective of cultural studies as a literary field. So my question is, who is the author of the famous work Uses of Literacy, Aspects of the Working Class Life, which was published in 1957? The answer is Richard Hogarth. Next question, who succeeded Hogarth as the director of Center for British Cultural Studies in 1968? The answer is Stuart Hall. My next question, who is the author of the famous work, very famous work, Contemporary Cultural Studies, which was published in 1969? Who is the author of the famous work, Contemporary Cultural Studies? The answer is Richard Hogarth, which was published in 1969. My next question, who was the key witness? This is a little diverted question, but this question can be very important from the perspective of competitive examinations. So my next question is question number 18. Who was the key witness in the 1960 British trial of whether D.H. Lawrence's Lady Chatterley's Lover was obscene or not? Who was this person? Is very important, so the question can be asked. Who was the key witness in 1960 British trial of whether D.H. Lawrence's Lady Chatterley's Lover novel is obscene or not? The answer is Richard Hogarth. My next question, whose writings are considered to be fundamental in the dissemination of cultural materialistic approach? I repeat, whose writings are considered to be very fundamental in the dissemination of cultural materialistic approach? The answer is Raymond Williams. My next question, which is the last question of this video, is name the work of Arjun Appadurai which defines the 5 aspects of the global cultural flow. I repeat, name the work of Arjun Appadurai which defines the 5 aspects of the global cultural flow. The answer is Disjuncture and Difference in the Global Cultural Economy. Very famous work. Disjuncture and Difference in the Global Cultural Economy. Please give your valuable feedback about this video so that next time when I upload the videos on containing questions on cultural studies, I will incorporate your suggestions. Before I leave, I'll just request you all that if you all get time, if you like this video and if you want such videos more from my side, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thank you very much for sparing your valuable time and watching my video. May God bless you all. This is Dr. Shoykot Banerjee signing off for now. Until next time. Thank you very much.